Okay, is it audible? Hello, is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and PPT visible
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
and cursor movement.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. See, in the previous class, we were studying about standing waves. Standing waves. Okay, so in the earlier class semesters or earlier studies, so what you observed? See, always we are sending a wave over the transmission line. Is correct. This is a interconnect. It may be a interconnect at a low frequency. We will be sending a sinusoidal signal like this. Okay, and we always assume that there exists only this type of wave, that is the incident wave will be there with a frequency, particular frequency. Okay, and it is traveling towards the load, that way we were thinking. Okay, but in this case, as you go for RF and microwave frequency, as we studied, so there is a there is a incident wave like this, there is a reflected wave. If there is a mismatch, ZL is mismatched with the transmission line. That means if ZL is not equal to characteristic impedance of this transmission line, there is a reflected wave like this. So there are two waves are there and propagating in the opposite direction on the transmission line or interconnect. Even it may be a small length in the order of mm, or it may be centimeter. Always there exist two waves like this. Okay, because of that, the voltage at any point over a transmission line is the addition of these two waves. Okay, so due to this addition of these two, and they are traveling in the opposite direction, they are of a same frequency traveling in opposite direction. So we cannot say only this wave is present. Okay, so at any point the voltage is the addition of these two waves. Okay, so as I showed in the previous class, this is one is black color one is moving towards the load here, and blue color one is moving towards the source. So this is a reflected wave. Blue color one is reflected wave, and black one is the incident wave. They are moving in the opposite direction. Okay, we reflected blue one and we incident with the red color one, and they are moving in the opposite direction. And this animation I have not shown. Okay, in the previous class I have shown. So just a snapshot of that I have taken here. So because at any time it is addition of these two wave. Okay, the voltage at any position. This is a transmission line. See, this is the length of the line we are moving. Load is here. Okay, I have taken load point here, and this is of 90 centimeters length from here to here. Okay, and as we move like this is moving over a transmission line. So that is starting from here load point. If you move like this, see, if you move like this, okay, the voltage at any position is the addition of these two waves, that is a black color one and a blue color one, that results in the red color. See, if you do the addition of these two at any position at a particular instant of time, for example at a particular instant of time, this is the waveform. Okay, there are two waves are there, incident wave and the incident and reflected wave. Now addition of these two gives rise to this red color one. See, this is a red color one. Okay, it is again a sinusoidal. Okay, and this wave whatever we are observing here, it looks like a standstill on the line. It doesn't move in the either in the towards the load or towards the source, but these two are moving. But even these two are moving in the opposite direction, this resultant wave looks like a standstill on the line without a movement. This peak doesn't move either this direction or this peak point. But if you consider the peak of this reflector or an incident wave, they will move with respect to time. But with respect to time, these position of this resultant wave doesn't move. It remains always here only. This remains here only, like that. So that's why it is resultant addition of these two gives rise to the standing wave. Okay, so that resultant is looking like this red color one, what I am showing here. Okay, so now if you plot a magnitude of this red color one, that is a voltage over a transmission line. See, this is a voltage. So resultant is a addition of reflected and incident is this red color. And as we can see here, the voltage is 0 here and increases, reaches a maximum value, and decreases, it becomes minimum here and goes in the negative direction, like this. it take a variation like this. Okay, this is a addition of the two waves. See now, if you plot a magnitude of this v of x magnitude, that magnitude is like this. See, I have taken this v of x, but magnitude of that positive is the positive only here, positive half cycle. But this negative part is coming to the positive direction because we are taking only magnitude of that. See, like this phase we are taking. So this negative is converted into positive like this. This is the one. So if you draw the magnitude of this, okay, this red color one, that is the resultant of addition of reflected and incident wave is a red color one. If you take a magnitude and plot, it is looking like this. Okay, and this case whatever I have drawn here, this is for ZL equal to 0. ZL equal to 0. Then also there is a reflected wave, but the amplitude of the reflected wave is maximum. Okay, ZL equal to 0, entire wave will be reflected, and its magnitude of this reflected is same as the incident wave. Okay, and with a 180-degree phase shift. Okay, so now you see here the resultant wave, it is looking like this, and these two are moving with respect to time, but this looks like always constant. Actually this is our voltage on the transmission line. So as you traverse like this over a transmission line, see, if you move like this towards the source, what happens? We will be observing the voltage is like this. It is minimum, increases to maximum at some position, decreases, reaches a minimum like this as you move like this, and that pattern will repeat every lambda by 2 distance. See here, from here to here, that is a lambda by 2 distance between minimas. This is minimum voltage is called as minima or node. This is called as antinode. Maxima is called as the antinode. Okay, so here, so what is this? What actually this is? This is a magnitude of this we were red color done. That is a resultant of two waves. Is a one here. Okay, so the voltage varies and the pattern repeats every lambda by 2 distance. Okay, and for short circuit this we will observe this minima takes the value 0 here. This is a 0 value, and it is a maximum here, increases amplitude axis. This is the amplitude of the wave. This is a distance from the load, from load point here. If you move like this is a distance. Okay, so we are, as you move over a transmission line, we are coming across repeatedly increasing amplitude, reaching magnitude maximum value, decreasing to minimum, again increases like that. That pattern will repeat every lambda by distance over a transmission line. Okay, so if the length of the line is see here, if the length of the line is half wavelength, then only a half wavelength variation we will be finding like this. Here actually I took three wavelength 1 gigahertz. This is actually frequency I took a 1 gigahertz. 1 gigahertz means 30 centimeters. 1 gigahertz means 30 centimeters wavelength. So I took a 90, 30, 60. This is one wavelength. Okay, 2 wavelength, 3 wavelength. Length of the line is 3 lambda. From here to here I took a 3 lambda. Okay, 3 lambda means automatically 3 cycles used to be there. You can see here 3 cycles are there here. Any wave, any of this wave you take, 3 cycles are there, because overall length of the line is 3 lambda, 90 centimeters, because the frequency applied is 1 gigahertz. 1 gigahertz means 30 centimeter. One wavelength is 30 centimeter. I took a length of the line overall, it is 90 centimeters. So you can observe 3 cycles at any instant. Okay, see like this. See, from year to year. This is one cycle. 2, 3. Okay, you can observe this red color one has a 3 cycles, because 3 wavelength work here. Okay, so if you consider only 2 lambda, that is 62 cycles will be observed. If you take only length of the line is equal to 30 centimeters, 1 cycle. Okay, half wavelength means only half cycle you can observe over the line. So the voltage variation is like this. If you take half wavelength, see like this. If, for example, you take only half wavelength means 15 centimeter. Then what you can see, from the load from the load, if you move like this, see, from the load point, if you move, voltage is 0 here, because it is a short circuit, voltage should be 0 at the load point, and increases, reaches a maximum here, and again it will decreases to 0. This type of variation you will observe if you take only 15 centimeter. Because of the 90 centimeter, 3 cycles variation is there over the 1 year. Okay, so this and that pattern here, because we are plotting a magnitude here, magnitude, this is called as a standing wave pattern. Magnitude of this v of x, it is addition of v reflected and incident. This is a magnitude of plotting, so it is looking like this, and it repeats every lambda by 2 distance. Okay, from here to here. Similarly, see here voltage repeats every lambda by 2 distance, means current also repeats here every lambda by 2 distance. See here is I have written again for some other load. See, if you take ZL equal to 0, this V minima becomes 0 here. Short circuit means here voltage should be 0 at short circuit point. Okay, reflected wave is 180 degree out of phase with respect to the incident. So reflected wave and this incident wave added together, they are 180 degree out of phase at the load point. Automatically they cancel with each other. So you will be observing a node that is 0 voltage here for the short circuit. Okay, so we will be getting 0 for a short, but if you connect a open, then what happens? This reflected wave is in phase, as you know, I gave in the previous class. Tau is +1 for the infinity. ZL equal to, see in the previous class we did that one, reflection coefficient for different loads. Okay, I gave, I think, a reflection coefficient for different loads. For open circuit, it is equal to 1 +1. For a short circuit, it is equal to -1. Okay, -1 means reflected wave is 180 degree with respect to incident wave, and +1 means it is entire wave will reflect, but in phase. So automatically here, you see here the wave which reflects here, same phase as the one, automatically they will add it together. That means voltage is maximum when the load is infinity. They add it together and we will be getting maxima at the load point. But a short circuit, if you connect, reflected wave is 180 degree out of phase with respect to the incident. They will cancel each other. So automatically at the load point you should have a 0 voltage. Okay, so based on the load, whatever the load ZL, either it may be minimum voltage you may have, or a maximum voltage, or it may something, but afterwards it repeats every lambda by 2 distance here. Okay, so this is for ZL equal to short circuit, we have like this. Okay, voltage variation. Similarly, current also varies over the transmission line. Okay, current variation is opposite to the voltage variation. See, like this I have written here. So this is a load point, this is for some load ZL, it is not equal to 0. Short circuit is not there, some other load is there. So it is a voltage is not a maxima or minima. Minima means this is a 1, maximum of this, but we do not have a maxima or minima at the load point. Okay, some other load, some value is there, but you see it increases and reaches a maximum here, and decreases become minimum here, but not coinciding with the 0 axis. You see here, this is a voltage. Okay, 0 is here, but this minimum is not coinciding with the 0, because it is not a short or not a open. Open and short have a minima is equal to 0. Okay, but for other loads, so minima is not coinciding with the 0. It takes some value, see, like this, from here to here, and maxima is some value here. And you may not have a minima or maxima at the load position. Some voltage is there, but it is not a minima or a maxima. Okay, maxima is this position, that means maxima occurs here. Starting from load, some voltage is there. Okay, that is based on the load, but if you move like this, at this position maximum will be there, and if you move, minimum comes here, minimum voltage here we are observing. It is not at a load position, it is somewhere. This is called as a first minima. So starting from the load point, you move towards the source. Whenever you observe a minimum voltage, you stop there and note down the distance from the load to the minimum position. That is called as a T minimum. It is very important for some other applications. We will come to know that what is the application. Okay. So this minima will be there. So this is voltage variation for some load, okay, other than open and a short. So it is voltage varies, become minimum, and it increases, decreases like this. It is a one. At the same time, current also varies over the transmission line. Not only voltage. See here, current variation is opposite to the voltage variation. See, this is a black color one. Is a voltage variation. Magnitude of voltage. We were plotting. I of x magnitude. I of x means it is a addition of reflected and incident. You take a magnitude of that. That is here what we are observing here. Current, wherever current minima, voltage maxima will be there. Current maxima, voltage minima will be there. So that repeats over a transmission line. See like this. As you move like this over a transmission line, if you move like this, voltage will vary over the transmission, reaches maximum, becomes minimum, and again that pattern will repeat as you move like this every lambda by 2 distance. Current also repeats in the same pattern. If current and voltages are varying, means impedance also should vary. Okay, that also repeats every lambda by 2 distance. That is very important parameter here. See here, as you move over here, impedance is there here, ZL. Okay. This as we saw, voltage repeats every lambda by 2 distance. See this voltage, this is some voltage is there, it will repeat again here, it is repeating somewhere again here, and maxima, this is a maxima and it repeats here, minima it repeats here. Similarly, the value voltage whatever exists at the load will repeat somewhere here. Okay. So at the load position we have some value of voltage. Similarly, we have some impedance here and also current. Those must repeat here again. Whatever, because voltage is repeating means impedance also should repeat here. Okay. So impedance also repeats. That is important here. You see now ZL is there and we are moving like this. You measure the impedance here. Measure the impedance here. It is not equal to ZL. As I said already many times, I repeated, do not treat like this is a simple short. Okay, it is a transmission line. Automatically, only at this position it is equal to ZL. Here it is ZL. If you measure, it will be ZL. But if you small deviation, if you measure the impedance here, it is not equal to ZL. It will take some value. And if you similarly go on moving like this and measure the impedance, it is not equal to ZL. But if you travel a distance is equal to lambda by 2 from here, ZL move a distance of lambda by 2, then this value will again repeat. If you measure impedance at a distance of lambda by 2, whatever you have here ZL, that will repeat at a distance of lambda by 2. Okay, so that why it is, because impedance voltage repeats, current also repeats every lambda by 2, impedance also repeats every lambda by 2 distance. Okay, so like that impedance changes here. Okay, over the transmission line does not repeat, doesn't remain same. Okay, similar to, see, I have written here actually. So here impedance, if you start from, it is a load value, you will be getting here ZL. Okay, and if you travel a distance here to here, see this is x3 distance from load ZL, this is a load here ZL. If you from here, if you travel a distance of lambda by 2, that is x3 here, x3 you measure the impedance, this ZL will be here. If you measure at x3 impedance here, the value is equal to ZL. But if you measure at x1, it is not equal to ZL. If you measure at x2, it is also not equal to ZL. Okay, that's why it is, because we are not treating this as a simple short. Okay, is it audible? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Audible. Okay. So here impedance repeats here. So and see impedance changes. Impedance what happens? It is a low value equal to some value, and afterwards impedance value may be increasing and it may decrease. Okay, as you move like this over the transmission line, here it is ZL, and as you move like this, impedance may increase and it takes a maximum value. Actually, impedance maximum value takes place whenever a voltage is maximum. See, this is a voltage wave. Okay, voltage is maximum wherever voltage is maximum on the transmission line. See, if you move like this, voltage increases, and if you come to the position x1, voltage is maximum. Okay, at that position you measure the impedance, that is a maximum value we can find. Maximum impedance we can find here. And as you move further, what happens? Voltage decreases, impedance also start decreasing. And whenever you come to the position minima position, voltage minima, okay, at the position x2, we will observe minimum impedance. Wherever voltage minima, minimum impedance will be there. So you measure the impedance at x2, position x2, impedance is minimum. If you measure the impedance at x1, it is maximum. Okay, and further, if you measure the impedance at x3, see here x3, it is at a distance of lambda by 2 from the load. We will be observing this ZL will be repeating here again. Okay, and also this is x1 here. Okay, x1 means as I said, maxima, voltage maxima, maximum impedance you can find here at x1. And if you move a distance of lambda by 2, see here, from here if you move to x4, x1 to x4, the distance is lambda by 2. From x1 to x4, distance is lambda by 2. So you measure the impedance here, it is maximum, Z maximum. And if you come to the position here x4, that is at a distance of lambda by 2 from the x1 here, we will be again find maximum impedance. Okay, it repeats similarly, like so over the transmission line, impedance reaches a maximum value and minimum value. In between that, it may take any value between the minimum and maximum value, similar to voltage maxima and voltage minima. Wherever voltage minima is there, our impedance at x2 is minimum. Similarly, voltage is maximum, our impedance on the line is minimum. Okay, actually, that happens, that minimum voltage and maximum voltage, okay, you can measure from the this standing wave pattern. So standing wave pattern we will be plotting. What is this standing wave pattern? It is a magnitude of v of x, we are plotting. Okay, that is the one. You can measure v maxima and v minima. So now that impedance, you can see also here, from here, this is voltage at x is equal to 0, x is equal to L here, length of the line, we will be having that impedance is equal to ZL at x is equal to L. X is equal to L means distance x, you put a L is L minus L 0, this term becomes 0, and this is 1 plus 2 and 1 minus 2. If you substitute, this is a 1. If you simplify this, you will be getting ZL. So if at x is equal to L, you will be getting impedance is equal to ZL. That should be there, okay, because at L we kept our load. So at x is equal to L, our load should be equal to ZL. Okay. So at actually, see, at a maxima position, impedance is maximum. That value is a R naught into S. R naught is a characteristic impedance of the transmission line. For a lossless line, characteristic impedance is real. I told in the previous class. Okay, for a lossless line, characteristic impedance is real, and it is root of L by C. It is a real value. So instead of calling it as a Z naught, we can call it as a R naught. Instead of as a Z naught, it is a R naught. Okay, so characteristic impedance, and this is called as a standing wave ratio. Yes, okay, we will see this. What is this standing wave ratio now? Okay, so impedance varies, voltage varies, current also varies over the transmission line. That we saw from this plots. Okay, so from here, so it is a 1, we got a magnitude like this. So this is called as a standing wave pattern, and this pattern depends upon the load, and the minima value and maxima value depends upon the load. Okay, and the distance of minima from the load depends upon the load value. Whatever the loads are done, that decides at what distance this minima will occur from the load. It not always be at this position. Okay, only short it will be here. Short, if you connect a ZL equal to 0, minima may takes place here. If you connect a infinity, ZL equal to infinity, infinite load or open circuit, then maxima will be at the load position. For some other load it will be like this. It may take some value in between maximum and minimum. See, like this. For ZL is other than open and a short, like this. So automatically minima is somewhere away from the load point. See, like this. It may come first also. First may minima may occur, afterwards maximum may come also. The always this value, this minima always depends upon the ZL, and it is at a particular distance from the load point. It is very important. That's why I am stressing over this d minimum. What is this d minimum? It is a distance of first minima. First minima means as you move over a transmission line, okay, starting from here, whenever you find a minimum voltage, you stop and measure the distance from load to that particular point. That is called as a d minimum. Okay, and this position and the distance of that minima from the load depends on this load value ZL. Okay. So now, this is for some load I have written, and we will see the pattern. This is called a standing wave pattern. So this is a voltage pattern. Similarly, current pattern also takes place, and also impedance also like this only. Okay. So now we will see the standing wave pattern for different loads. See, I have written here. If a different load is connected ZL, what is the shape of the standing wave pattern? Shape remains. It may be voltage minimum, maximum values may be different. See, like here ZL equal to 0. We have a minima is here first. Here it is minima, and again it repeats at a lambda by 2 distance from here to here, and this is a voltage variation. Minima value is equal to 0. Okay, voltage value minimum here is a V minimum is 0, and if you connect replace this ZL equal to 0 by open circuit, you put a open circuit here, then what you can see the waveform is like this. It is maxima here, instead of minima we have a maxima. Okay, then minima comes here. See, minima comes here. It is at a distance of lambda by 4 from the load. See, this is a load. Okay, this is open circuit. Anyway, it is a load for the line. Okay, that minima occurs at a lambda by 4 distance. Here minima occurs at a lambda by 2 distance. Here, this one. Okay, so here minima at a lambda by 4 from the load, and again it repeats, and it is again 0. If a ZL equal to infinity, minimum value is 0. Okay, and instead of connecting open or a short, if you connect a character here match termination Z0, ZL equal to Z0, then there is no reflected wave at all. There is no reflected wave. No reflected wave means there is no standing waves. Standing waves occurs only if this kind of waves, this kind of pattern occurs over the transmission line only if there is a reflected wave. If reflected wave is not there, only traveling wave is there, then there is no standing wave. We will be having straight line here. This is a straight line. Okay, there is no standing wave, only traveling wave is there. Okay, so the pattern standing wave pattern, this pattern we cannot observe, only straight wave because it says there is a traveling wave. Okay, and next, if you put a ZL equal not equal to ZL, some value other than all these three, 0 not, infinity also not there, some value is there, then the pattern will be like this. You see, this is a 1. So starting from load, if you move like this, okay, maximum is there. You can measure the maximum. What is the maximum value here? From here to here is a maximum, here to here, and minimum value is some value here. From here, it is not 0 now. See, for a short and open, minimum coinciding with a 0. Here it is coinciding with a 0. They may occur at any position. See, it is occurring here, minima occurring here, but the values are 0 here. This is a y-axis, is a magnitude. Magnitude is a 0 here, V minimum. Okay, V minimum, but for other loads, instead of infinity and 0 load, if you connect some other load, minima takes some value, V minimum, and it is a V maximum. Okay, this is the standing wave pattern. So now using this, so this is in the examination there may be a question, plot the standing wave pattern for different loads. Draw standing wave pattern for different loads. So then what you have to do, you should draw this pattern. Draw the pattern. So ZL equal to 0, infinity, Z0 and not equal to Z0. The patterns will be like this. You should draw. Okay, it carries 6 marks or depending upon the 4 marks. Okay, so this is about. Now see, for any standing wave we will be we will calculate one parameter that is called as standing wave ratio. Standing wave ratio. Okay, VSWR. See here, standing wave ratio. It's called as standing wave ratio, VSWR. Okay, this standing wave ratio means it is a ratio of V maximum divided by minimum. What is the standing wave ratio? Standing wave ratio is defined as a ratio of V maximum divided by V minimum. Okay, so it is here I have written voltage standing wave ratio is defined as a ratio of V maximum divided by V minimum. Okay, so now what is this V maximum and V minimum? We have to find out what is a V maximum and V minimum. So here is a V maximum and V minimum means what is V of X? It is the addition of reflected and incident wave, these two waves. Okay, V of X becomes maximum when these two waves are added in together, when they are in phase. See, V incident and V reflected are in phase, we will be getting maximum value of V of X. Similarly, we will be getting minimum whenever they are out of phase. Okay, whenever there is a maximum phase difference is there between the two, we will be getting minimum. Okay, that depends upon the distance here. That depends on the distance at some position on the line. See, two waves are traveling here. The waves are traveling, this reflected and incident waves are traveling here. But at some positions, what happens? Even they travel at some position over the line. This is a line, transmission line. We are moving like this towards the source. Okay, at some position they may added together in phase. At some position they may be out of phase and they may be subtracted. Constructively, they are constructively at some position over the transmission line. At some position they may be added destructively. So you will be getting less voltage. So that happens when the waves travel over the transmission line. At some position they added constructively. At some position they subtracted together. Okay, wherever they added constructively, we will be getting maximum. That means to add it together means they must be in phase. Reflected and incident, whenever at any position, if they are in phase, at that position maximum voltage we will be getting like this, in phase. These two we can observe in phase, we will be getting maximum here. Whenever the two waves are opposite in nature, see for example here this position, if you consider here reflected wave and incident wave are same phase. Okay, they are added together and will be getting maximum. Okay, but now you see here at this position here, this is a positive, this is leading and this is lagging by the same amount. Automatically they cancel each other here at this position. Okay, that happens. So at this position they cancel, we will be getting minimum. At this position they added together, we will be getting maximum. So like that. So whenever the two waves are traveling at some positions, so they are constructively like this. Okay, we will be getting maximum like this. At some position like this, they are out of phase. This is a leading and lagging, but automatically they cancel with each other. So you will be getting minimum here. So like that happens over an entire length of the line. So added means they must be in phase. Added means they must be in phase, and cancel means they must be out of phase, that incident and the reflected wave. So from here we can find out V maxima. V maxima means this and this must be in phase. So this must be in phase with this. So if you take a magnitude V maximum, maximum of this. Okay, so we will be getting this is maximum value of this is 1. Okay, and maximum value of this is 1, and this must be in phase. In phase means plus 1, here also plus 1. So only living is this way. This is maximum value of this is 1 and maximum value of this is 1. automatically. Okay, we will be getting V plus V minus, and the magnitude of this you have to take V plus magnitude, because it is also a phasor. V naught plus is a phasor, so we take a magnitude of this. So took a magnitude of this. Okay, so these two should be added. Reflected and incident must be added together. Okay, plus sign, that's why. And now simplify this. V naught plus you take outside. What is remaining in the first term? It is 1 plus, this is numerator, and this is in the denominator. And you see what is this ratio? This is equal to reflection coefficient at the load. We did it in the previous class. See here, reflection coefficient TOEL. TOEL is equal to what? It is given by this equation, ZL minus Z naught, and it is also given by this equation. I did it in the earlier class. Okay, take only magnitude of this. Magnitude TOEL is given by this equation. Take a magnitude of TOEL. What is that magnitude of TOEL? This is a phase part here. Magnitude is only this. Okay, magnitude of again this. Okay, so it is V naught. Magnitude of TOEL is given by this value. So in this V of maximum, what we have? V naught minus divided by V naught plus. What is this? This is the magnitude of reflection coefficient, load reflection coefficient. So that I have substituted TOEL magnitude. Okay, that is from here. TOEL is given by this equation. You take a magnitude of this, magnitude of this here. That is V naught minus divided by V naught plus. So this is magnitude of this is equal to TOEL magnitude. So here we have that. So we will be having TOEL magnitude here. TOEL magnitude. So V maxima is equal to this. Similarly, V minimum. V minimum means whenever these two terms are out of phase, this one and this one. So this is minus sign here. Okay, added. Otherwise, maximum is this. Maximum is 1 and 1. That's why out of phase is minus here. Okay, so again you take a to get a V minimum, you take a V naught plus outside here. We have this. Again this is equal to TOEL. Okay, so V maxima is this and V minima is this. Okay, this is from this equation. So now taking a ratio of this V maximum and minimum gives the voltage standing wave ratio. Okay, so that voltage standing wave ratio is given by this V maximum. What is V maximum? Equal to this value. V minima is this. Substitute and simplify. This will cancel. Remaining is 1 plus tau magnitude, 1 minus TOEL magnitude. See, do not put our TOEL directly. It should be TOEL magnitude. Okay, magnitude of TOEL, because TOEL is a complex. It has a magnitude and a phase. You should put only the magnitude here to get a value of this S. S means V maxima divided by V minima. What is this V maxima and V minima? That is from standing wave pattern. See here, this is a standing wave pattern for a particular load. Okay, and it has a minimum value and maximum value. Take a ratio of V maxima and V minima. That is equal to this. Okay, if you know TOEL magnitude, you can calculate S, or if you know V maxima and V minima, you can get the value of S. This is called as voltage standing wave ratio. Okay, so because in our most of our application we can measure the V maxima and V minima. See here, this is the, what are these? These are the standing wave patterns for different loads. Standing wave pattern for different loads. Is it audible? Hello? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here what you can see here, different loads. This is for ZL equal to 0, this is for infinity, this is for characteristic impedance, this is for some value. Okay. Now we will see what is the standing wave ratio for this and for this. If ZL equal to 0, what is the you measure the standing wave ratio over the line. This is a transmission line. Okay, measure the standing wave ratio over the line when the load is equal to 0. Okay, that means V maxima divided by V minima. Standing wave ratio is given by V maxima divided by V minima. For a short circuit, if you connect a short circuit, what is the value of VSWR? V maxima divided by V minimum. Minimum, V max is something, okay, but V minimum value, see, ZL equal to 0, V minima coinciding with the 0, see, 0 voltage, this is 0 voltage, 1 volt, 2 volt, minima is coinciding with the 0, so you put a 0 here. So what is the value? It is infinity, okay, it is equal to infinity. So VSWR is equal to infinity for ZL equal to 0, okay. So that means it shows the entire reflection, maximum reflection, infinite. VSWR is infinity means maximum reflection. Similarly, you can see ZL equal to infinity, open circuit, okay. For open circuit again, V maxima by V minimum. V maximum value something we keep. What is the V minimum again? For this ZL equal to infinity, it is 0 again, coinciding with the 0. So this is a 0 point, coincide with the 0 here. So 0, it is infinity again. It shows infinity shows means entire wave reflect back. Okay, more the value of VSWR, more the reflection. VSWR is higher means higher the reflection. Okay, so now you see here this one. Matched termination. Matched termination, V maxima by V minima. V maxima is equal to V minima. V minima is equal to V maxima. Okay, so we will be getting 1. 1 means matched termination. See, VSWR 1 says it is a matched termination. The pattern will be like this. Here is there is no V minima, V maxima. V minima coincided with the V maxima. Okay, so we will be getting 1. So for there is no reflection, that means load is equal to characteristic impedance. ZL is equal to Z0, then VSWR is equal to 1. VSWR is equal to 1, like this. Okay, that means there is no reflection at all if VSWR is 1. So in most of the cases we measure VSWR, okay, on the transmission line. VS, voltage standing wave ratio, we will be measuring. It is constant for a given load and a given signal. For a given signal and given load, it is constant. Okay. So if you measure the VSWR, if it is equal to 1, that means this ZL is matched. ZL is matched with the transmission line. Okay. If it is infinity, measure VSWR on the line. Measure, there is a VSWR meter is available. In the market, VSWR meters are available. Okay, using that VSWR meter, it is in our laboratory also. You can see in our laboratory, VSWR meter is there. Okay, you measure the VSWR over the line. At any position you can measure, it is same. Okay, measure somewhere. If it is equal to 1, what do you come to know? ZL is matched with the characteristic impedance. If VSWR meter shows higher value of higher value, VSWR is high, that means this is not matched. ZL is not matched with the Z0. Okay, you should bring it to 1. You should change the load. Okay, or you should match the load with the 1. Okay, so usually we use our VSWR meter that is available in the market. Using that we can measure and we can come to know is the load matched with the transmission line or not. It is very important, otherwise reflection will be there. Okay, there is a waste of energy, waste of power. Okay, so it is very important parameter VSWR, like a reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient, the already studied that. Okay, we will see again. I have given value. VSWR matched means it is 1. Okay, usually practically we cannot get exactly 1, but up to 1.5 it is acceptable. If we measure a VSWR, if it is within 1 to 1.5, that is the acceptable value of VSWR in many applications. Okay, greater than 1.5 is not acceptable. Maximum more reflection will be there in such a case. So people used to measure the VSWR and they will come to know whether ZL is matched with the transmission line or not. Okay, so that's why it is a very important parameter, and it is a ratio of V max divided by V minimum. No reflection means it will be 1. Okay, from here, so you can find here for short and open it is infinity, very high. Very high means entire wave will reflect back. If you put a short or a open, entire wave will reflect back here without delivering any power to the load. Okay, that's why. So this is about VSWR, voltage standing wave ratio, and I have given here for different loads. Similarly, reflection coefficient, this we have already studied. Okay, that is the maximum and minimum values, magnitude of reflection coefficient. Okay, here it is 1 lesser than or equal to 1, greater than or, no reflection means 0. Okay, maximum reflection means 1, this reflection coefficient from this okay. For matched load it is 0, for open circuit it is 1, for a short circuit -1. That you can calculate from here. Reflection coefficient or the load is given by this equation. So these two parameter, VSWR and reflection coefficient, these two are very very important parameters on a transmission line. Usually we measure this one or this one, anyone can be measured, but this is easy method to measure the reflection, VSWR. Okay, now in most of the application we measure this because it is available, VSWR meters are available. Okay, instead of reflection here. So using the from 1 to infinity, what is the value that is, if it is up to 1.5, no problem, 1 to 1.5 it should be within that, it is acceptable. After that VSWR is greater than that means it is not a matched load. Okay, we have to match the load in such a case. Okay, that's why it's a very important parameter. Okay, so you got it now. This is what I have, what is the about a standing wave patterns on a transmission line. It depends upon the length of the line. You see here, I have shown here many cycles, 3 cycles, because the length of the line is 3 lambda. The length of the line I took 3 lambda here. That's why. Okay, so if you take only 1 lambda, only these two we will be. You can observe only these two. For 2 lambda we will observe up to this. Okay, if it's a half wavelength, if the length of the line is half wavelength, only half wavelength, then only we will be observing this. Okay, and also you can observe here distance between the two minimas is half wavelength. From year to year it must be lambda by 2. You see now here from this plot, this is a minima at 60 centimeter. What is the next minima? Here it is at 75. Okay, 75 minus 60 means 15 centimeter. So that is lambda by 2. Distance from year to year is lambda by 2. That will happen for all. See here also, this point and this point, if you take this is around 60 75 year, it is some measure year and measure year. Difference between from year to year is a half wavelength. Okay, okay, that is the one. So now here, if you take half wavelength of a short circuit, for example, I took a length of the line ZL, only half wave, then this pattern will be there on the transmission line. We will observe one minima here, reaches maximum here, and again we will be getting minima here. If half wavelength, we will be observing only this pattern. If it is a short, if it is open, we will be observing like this. Voltage is maximum, it becomes minimum, and it reaches maximum if the length of the line is only half wavelength. So like that you can observe this kind of, if the length of the line is long, based on your length of the line you may observe part of this pattern on the transmission line. Okay, so this is about standing wave pattern, voltage variation, current variation, and impedance variation. Okay, and minima, voltage minimum, maxima, and okay, standing wave ratio, reflection coefficient. So we see here this is impedance is 0 here. See, for a short circuit ZL equal to 0 here. Okay, for a load is 0. Okay, then minima is here. That means a minimum impedance you get Okay, it must be 0, and minimum impedance here must be 0 value. Impedance, if you measure the impedance at this position, it is 0 at a distance of lambda by 2. It is maximum here. Okay, for a short and open, minimum value is a 0 impedance. 0 impedance you will be getting here, 0 impedance here, maximum impedance you will be getting here. But in this case, see here, V minimum is not coinciding with the 0. Here it is some value. So it will take a some value. Z, if you measure a impedance here, see for example, if you take a ZL, it is not equal to Z0 and also not equal to infinity and 0. It is some value. Then what we have? We have a V minimum, some value is there. Okay. In such a case, what is the impedance here? Minimum impedance. What is the maximum impedance? Okay. That you can find out using the equation. You will see that what is the minimum impedance and what is the maximum impedance. Minimum impedance occurs at voltage minimum, maximum impedance occurs at voltage maximum. Okay, this VSWR is also denoted by letter S. See here, VSWR. This VSWR is also denoted by the letter capital S. Okay. See, now we will see. Here I have given here Z minimum and Z maximum. So as I said in the earlier, okay, here you can see here, this is a load impedance ZL here. It is something other than short open or a matched termination. We have some voltage here. It is not minima or a maxima at the load position. It is some value. And but if you move like this, if you move from the load point, if you move towards the source, see from here, if you move towards the source like this, we will be getting maximum voltage here at this position. At x1 you will be getting maximum voltage, and if you further you move, voltage decreases and minimum you will be getting here, but it is not equal to 0. Minima is not equal to 0. It is taking some value. See, this is 0 point, it increases here. This is y-axis. Okay, 0 value is 0, voltage 0. Okay, but this minima is not coinciding with the 0. It takes some value. Then what is the impedance here? If it coincides here and then it is equal to impedance equal to 0. See, if this minima coincides with here 0 voltage, then Z minimum equal to 0. Okay, but it is above that. Then what is the value of this minimum voltage, minimum impedance? Similarly, what is the maximum value? I said, I told minimum impedance occurs wherever voltage is minimum. Maximum impedance occurs wherever voltage maxima is there. Okay, so as you start from load, and move like this, okay, impedance is ZL here, and if you move like this, voltage increases and reaches maximum here. So impedance maximum at x1. Okay, and if you further you move, one impedance changes, and whenever come here x2, voltage is minimum, so impedance become minimum here, Z minimum. What is that value? Okay, that we can find. See, this theoretically there are equation is there. You can find what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value of impedance. See from equation. Okay. See, V minimum means, we know in the previous, whenever the two waves cancel with destructively added together, we will be getting this equation. We see here, I have already showed. V minimum is given by this equation, and finally simplifies to this. You take a V minimum at voltage minima, impedance is minimum. Okay, so V minimum is this, and at the voltage position, minimum position, current is maximum. See, current is maximum at the voltage minimum position. Okay, so this is the equation. Voltage minimum is this, it is minus sign. Current is maximum, that is plus here, plus I have reflected, this is incident and reflected actually. I have some simplification we have made. Okay, so 1 minus 2L, this is 1 plus 2L. Current maximum, voltage minimum. Take a ratio at this position, you take a ratio of voltage to current, that gives the impedance. Voltage minimum divided by current maximum gives the impedance at this position, that is a Z minimum at the minima voltage minima position. So you do that, you will be getting 1 minus 2L, 1 plus 2L. So now this 1 plus 2L Z naught is there, Z naught, and you know VSWR is given by this equation we saw here. VSWR, reflection coefficient, V maxima divided by V minimum is the reflection coefficient. Now here in this equation, Z minimum equation, what is this? This is 1 by S, because 1 plus 2L here, 1 minus, actually expression for VSWR is 1 plus 2L divided by 1 minus 2L magnitude. This is 1 by S. So if you substitute that in this equation, this is equal to 1 by S. Okay, so Z naught by S, but in the for lossless line it is real, Z naught is real, so it is R naught by S. So Z minimum is R naught by S. Okay, you can show this, you can prove like this. So how do you do that? You at a voltage minimum impedance occurs, you take a ratio of voltage and current at that position, that is at x2. X2 voltage minimum and current is maximum. What is the minimum? V minimum. V minimum is given by this equation. Current is maximum. Current maximum value is given by this equation. You take a ratio of these two, that gives the impedance at this position, x2. Impedance at a x2. Okay, that is equal to this, but this term is equal to 1 by S. Okay, so this is R naught by S. Okay, R naught, Z naught is R naught, because it is a real, you kept it as a Z naught equal to R naught, you will be having like this. So Z minimum you can calculate easily if you know the characteristic and standing wave ratio. S is standing wave ratio, you can calculate what is the minimum impedance. Similarly, you can find out maximum impedance. It occurs at a maxima position x1. See, maxima is at x1. You note down the maximum voltage here, but current is minimum. Current minima, voltage maxima. You take a ratio of those two. Voltage maxima is given by this, current minima is given by this. Okay, you take a ratio. You will be having this. This is equal to S. So S is equal to this. Substitute, is that not equal? So you will be getting in this equation. This equation you put this is equal to S. So it is Z naught into S or R naught into S. So Z maxima is equal to R naught into S. So you can find out what is the maximum value on the transmission line, what is the minimum value. Okay, on the transmission line. So on the transmission line the impedance changes and it becomes minimum. You can find out what is, it becomes maximum here at a maximum position. You can find out that what is the maximum impedance here, that is R naught into S. And as you move, voltage decreases, impedance also decreases and it becomes minimum at this minima position, x2 position. What is that value? That is given by this equation, R naught by S. Okay. So like that you can come to know what is the value, minimum value and maximum value impedance over a transmission line. Okay, so this is about this. Okay, in the next class we will continue. So is it audible here? Hello? Hello? Gagana? Gagana is present? Gagan Kumar, see this is the attendance, it will go to, we are considering here. If you do not answer automatically, we will, I am recording all these things. See, whatever present I am recording here, you can observe here I am recording. Those absent will sure face some problem. In every class I am repeating, still 15 to 20 members absent, not added at all. This should not happen. You should add. All of you must join. Okay, today we will stop. In the next class we will continue.